Compton, and today we're starting with a what do you notice and wonder? So I have a picture here, and I want you to think about what you see, what you notice, and what you might be wondering about this. All right, this would be a really good time to hit pause, and I'm going to step away while you hit pause. Okay, hit pause. All right, I'm back. I hope you're back too. And we've got maybe some two groups. Did anybody notice that there are two groups here? And maybe you even noticed that the two groups were blue. Did anybody say that? I'm going to guess that some of you probably noticed that the dots are arranged in a different way than maybe like just randomly, right? So maybe you noticed that there's 1, 2, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3 here, and 3 times 3 is 9. There's actually an array inside of the group. So maybe you thought, okay, well, that would make 9. So that one would also make 9 because it's the same thing. So maybe you noticed that there was a 3 by 3 array in each group. You know, I'm wondering if anybody actually put these two ideas together. Did anybody think about there was a 3 by 3 array in a group? So I'm going to group those together. And then there were two groups. So maybe you did times 2. Does this match that? That might be a wondering. Maybe you're like, I wonder if it does, or I don't see it yet. Remember, we're still learning and looking at things. Okay, well, I haven't heard the number 18 yet, but I'm going to guess that some of you probably came up with that number, right? Because 9 plus 9 is 18, so this must equal 18. So there were 18 dots. And maybe you even said, well, this is not just multiplication, this is actually division too. Did anybody think about that? So we've got 18 dots split into two groups. So 18 dots shared equally, so I'm going to use my division symbol, between two groups. And that makes 9 dots in each group. All right, cool. I'm wondering what else you may have noticed. I bet there's lots of other stuff, but those are my guesses for right now. I'm going to write down our story problem for today. So I'm going to hit pause and I'll be right back. Here we go. We've got hummingbirds in this problem, which it's hummingbird season at my house. In my backyard, I have lots and lots of hummingbirds, which is always fun to watch. So here we go. There are 10 hummingbirds and 2 feeders in Marissa's backyard. If there are an equal number of birds at each feeder, how many birds are at each one? All right, so make sure you read this twice. Make sure you have the picture in your head, right? So we know for sure that there are 10 hummingbirds and 2 feeders. Okay, so I'm imagining that as 2 feeders, like here's a hummingbird feeder number 1, and here's hummingbird feeder number 2. All right, now the next thing we know is there's an equal number of birds at each feeder. And we have to figure out how many birds are at each feeder. Now, you might be using your multiplication fact to solve this, and maybe you're like, well, I know that 2 groups of something makes 10. So you might actually already just know this answer, but we're going to look at it together anyway, because we're always going to look at different ways we might approach the problem, right? So maybe you know this already, so you know what's going to go in here. Or maybe you thought about it as 10 hummingbirds. So I'm going to put HB divided by 2 groups equals how many birds per group? Or birds per feeder. Maybe you're thinking about it like that. So let's check it out. So I have 10 hummingbirds here, and we know that it's going to be an equal amount at each feeder. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And I'll just keep going and passing them out until I'm done, right? So the answer is 5. There would be 5 hummingbirds at each feeder. And same for this, if you knew 2 times 5 was 10, then you probably already knew the answer. And we can connect that to the fact family 10 divided by 2 equals 5. But we can also see that here in the picture. 10 hummingbirds, those are the green circles, divided by 2 groups, black circles, equal 5 birds per feeder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, kids, it's up to you. Go grab your stuff and get going. I'll see you next time. Bye.